And in case you didn't think the election was bleak enough, Donald Trump waded in.
Donald Trump got involved in UK politics today. He spoke at length earlier on with the Brexit Party leader Nigel Farage on Mr Farage's LBC radio show.
I'd like to see you and Boris get together.
Nobody wants Boris and Farage. They go together like tequila and driving. That would be the worst collaboration ever. Well, not ever. The point I'm making, people... The point I'm making... Oh, is that not a bad collaboration? The point I'm making, people in this country don't want Trump's input. We made our feelings perfectly clear last time. And this wasn't a quick chat. They spoke for half an hour, and some of it was batshit.
I have a magic wand. I could deal with it very easily. All I have to do is a certain step, and they'll be coming. And I always thought you had a little bit of a magic wand, too, but they never used it. You know what I'm talking about.
I do.
We don't. I got a magic wand. You got a magic wand. Let's go Harry Potter world. It's good for kids and adults. They have 3D Quidditch. Now, back to Trump. When he wasn't calling up LBC, he was telling anyone who would listen about how he defeated ISIS.
We have breaking news that ISIS leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi is believed to have been killed in a U.S. raid in northwest Syria.
He's dead. He's dead as a doornail.
Did you see his press conference littered with relentless self-love? My favourite moment was when he claimed he'd been personally looking for al-Baghdadi.
I've been looking for him for 3 years.
Have you? Because this looks like a man who's reading his name for the first time.
Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi.
It's like he's taking an eye test, just... Abu Bakr Baghdadi. Finding him had nothing to do with Trump. It was because of an amazing spy who went well beyond the call of duty. This was incredible. A spy stole Baghdadi's underpants for DNA tests. He had to find Baghdadi, steal a pair of his pants, check those pants for his DNA to make sure they had the right guy. Trump shouldn't get credit. That guy should get credit. How good do you have to be to walk into an ISIS lair and steal a pair of pants? Just, hello! Don't mind me. I'm the cleaner. Just take some of your pants. That's a tough job, man. This is what Baghdadi looked like. Can you imagine the state of his pants? I bet he looked like someone who killed a beaver with a hammer. That is an awful mission, just sat there sniffing pants. Join the army, they said. See the world, they said. Fuck my life! It gets weirder. Trump tweets photo of wonderful dog that took part in Baghdadi raid. That dog found al-Baghdadi, chased him into a tunnel, was injured after the terrorist blew himself up. This was the best bit. Military officials have not officially released the dog's name, saying it was classified to protect his identity.
House Democrats are looking at whether President Trump abused his power by withholding military aid from Ukraine while pressing for an investigation into one of his main rivals for the presidency, Joe Biden.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says the evidence is clear that the president violated his oath of office.
In case you haven't been following it, here's what's happened so far. Basically, Trump's been accused of putting pressure on the Ukrainian president to dig up dirt on Joe Biden. Trump said he did nothing wrong, which is clearly bullshit. Look how he described the phone call with Ukraine.
I had a perfect phone call, a totally perfect phone call.
Which was a perfect call.
Absolutely perfect phone call. That call was perfect.
Who describes a phone call as perfect? He spoke, I spoke. It was. The only time a phone call's perfect is when you have a piss and they don't realise. No, I'm in a lift. And when he wasn't banging on about a perfect phone call, he was speaking in Latin.
There was no quid pro quo.
There was no quid pro quo. Quid pro quo.
There was no quid pro quo. I did not scratch his back. He did not scratch mine. Seeing as you're so familiar with Latin, tu plenes decore, which is Latin for you are full of shit. There was no quid pro quo. Yeah, and this congressman didn't fart on TV.
The evidence is uncontradicted that the president used taxpayer dollars to ask the Ukrainians to help him cheat an election.
I mean, Christ. Even one of Trump's inner circle, Gordon Sondland, testified against him.
Was there a quid pro quo? As I testified previously, with regard to the requested White House call and the White House meeting, the answer is yes.
Yes. So, what happened next? Trump had a breakdown. This is the conversation he claims he had.
I want nothing. That's what I want from Ukraine. That's what I said. I want nothing. I said it twice.
You said it twice. You said it more than twice, mate.
So here's my answer. I want nothing. I want nothing.
Anything else?
This is the final word from the President of the United States. I want nothing.
Here's a question. Why would you ring someone up to tell them you want nothing? Hello, 999? Nothing. Well, that was perfect. If you thought the speech was bad, check out his notes. This is his actual handwriting. Look at that. What font is that? Times New Batshit? He didn't have the balls to claim this about Sondland.
I don't know him very well. I have not spoken to him much.
Really? Because Trump nominated him as the ambassador to the EU, and Sondland said he spoke on the phone with Trump about 20 times. Don't know him very well.
That is some bullshit.
Cheers, Dad. We're weeks into the new decade, and Trump is doing his best to make it the last.
The U.S. and Iran may be on the verge of a major military conflict.
The United States has killed Iranian General Qasem Soleimani.
Iran has called it an act of international terrorism and threatened severe revenge.
We took action last night to stop a war. We did not take action to start a war.
And how did that go down with the Iranian government?
Iran's parliament has taken up the chant of death to America.
Death to America. Death to America.
Not great. Thanks to Trump, the Middle East is now about as stable as an R. Kelly interview. Trump didn't stir a hornet's nest. He put his dick in it and went, that's what I think of hornets. And their nests. I mean, Christ. Never mind starting wars, Trump should be improving his literacy. Is it me? Or has he been reading his autocue backwards?
As long as I'm president of the United States, Iran will never be allowed to have a nuclear weapon. Good morning.
I will blow them to smithereens. Good afternoon. Not only is he struggling with sentences, he's struggling with words.
Your campaign of terror, murder, mayhem will not be tolerated any longer.
We will not tolerate your aggressive behavior. Good evening. Now, what makes Trump's actions even more incredible is what he said about Obama in 2011.
Our president will start a war with Iran because he has absolutely no ability to negotiate. So, I believe that he will attack Iran sometime prior to the election because he thinks that's the only way he can get elected. Isn't it pathetic?
You said it, Cap. Now, how can he call Obama pathetic? Trump spoke to NATO, and this was his proposal.
You said yesterday you want NATO to do more. Could you be a little more private?
I did. I spoke
on what you wanted.
Right.
And have you gotten any indication from them that they...
Yeah, I spoke to him yesterday. I spoke to Secretary General yesterday, and we had a great conversation. He was very, I think he was actually excited by it. And I actually had a name. NATO, right? And then you have ME, Middle East. You'll call it NATOMI. I said, what a beautiful name. NATOMI. I'm good at names, right? USMCA. Like the song, YMCA.
NATO, Middle East, Natome. So mad, isn't it? Squashing two names together doesn't make something better. Jedward. Moobs. Labradoodles. Ooh, I'm good around kids and I don't make you sneeze. You look like a Wookiee's cock. That was interesting. There was a big round of applause over there. Nothing, it was just Labradoodles going, hey. Over in America, there's been new allegations in the Trump impeachment.
Well, the stage has now been set for only the third trial to remove a president in American history.
And in new evidence, an aide who was involved has said President Trump knew exactly what was going on.
The new allegations come from former Trump donor and indicted businessman Lev Parnas.
I should be their #1 witness because I'm the one that got all the dirt.
I don't know him at all. Don't know what he's about. Don't know where he comes from. Know nothing about him.
You don't know him? Really? What about when you met him here? Here. 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 And here. Never met him. They're harder to separate than shagging dogs. The only way to get them apart is cold water. It's shocking, right, ladies? He can't not lie. He's like a cross between a toddler and Shaggy. Trump's memory is worse than this lady. Never met Nemo, don't know the guy. Just tell the truth. It can't be any weirder than some of the other lunatics Trump already hangs out with. It's true. Trump appoints Paula White as his new spiritual advisor. He's being impeached, and he's hired a TV Christian spiritualist, and she is cray-cray.
Wherever I go, God rules. When I walk on White House grounds, God walks on White House grounds. When I walked in the river, God walked in the river. When I go into the dry cleaner, that dry cleaning place becomes holy.
What's God doing in the dry cleaners? Created the universe and I was just watching pants go around. How can you take advice from a woman who ends her sermons like this?
Mahanda akasata, reke yamanda raboko sokota, ronda yakande eke seke la mama manda rabakase, menda rabakande rababakaso.
That's not advice. That's what you say when you tread on Lego. She sounds like the crazy frog. Imagine her in a meeting. Should I bomb Iran? Yes, no, Paula. It's a good point, Paula. Well raised. Not that I've ever met you. Now, whoever he hires, it doesn't matter. His supporters will vote for him no matter what.
So, Crystal, is there anything that he could do or anything that could happen that would make you not vote for him?
No.
If he shot someone on Fifth Avenue, would you vote for him?
You'd have to know why he shot.
Yeah, why did he shoot him?
America. Doesn't matter what he does, his crowd will cheer anything. I have proof.
New dishwashers that give you more water so you can actually wash and rinse your dishes without having to do it 10 times. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
You're the president, not a presenter on QVC. They think he's a genius. He's not. See if you can spot the moment his teleprompter stopped working.
You can shoot me, but you'll have to kill us all. Something.
We should fight them on the beaches. Stuff. Moving on, have you seen what's been happening with Donald Trump.
Trump's impeachment trial over. The Senate acquits him, the Democrats despair.
And did he respond with dignity and grace? What do you think?
It was all bullshit.
Of course not. Did you see what he did to Nancy Pelosi at the State of the Union?
The tension between President Trump and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi was on display from the beginning when the president appeared to snub Pelosi's handshake.
How did she respond? She did this.
Nancy Pelosi ripped up her copy of his speech.
To be honest, I don't think she went far enough. If that had been me, I'd have done this.
From the instant I took office, I
If you really want to get under his skin, go full football fan.
slashing a record number of job-killing regulations, enacting historic...
Just an idea. Trump said loads of things, but he didn't say anything about gun control, which is madness. I mean, have you seen the protesters in West Virginia?
Thousands of pro-gun activists, many drawn from militias from across America, descended on the state capitol. Heavily armed and warning they would never surrender their weapons.
Government wants revolution, then that's what they'll get. Nobody here really wants war. Nobody here, wants to be out fighting.
Then why are you dressed like Rambo? You can't say you don't want to fight if you're dressed like this. If you want peace, don't carry a gun, carry this. Exactly, listen to you. Try starting a war with that. Stand back or I'll pug you. Do you know the maddest thing? Listen to why they're protesting.
Virginia now has a Democratic governor and state assembly wanting to limit gun purchases to one a month.
How am I supposed to defend myself if I can only get 12 guns a year? One a month. Only in America would your phone data last longer than your gun. It's so messed up so far this year. It's already been 4,000 gun deaths in America. That's more than 100 every day. And all their leader says is this.
I want to send our thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers to the family.
Thoughts and prayers don't do shit, you moron! You're the president, not a fucking Jedi. Ridiculous.